Hey everyone, I'm very excited to be here. Let's talk about two interesting domains, gaming and personalization. Our belief in Playtika is that it's all about the best game experience. This is our secret sauce since we launched the first game and until now as leaders in the industry. We understand that optimal game experience requires personalization. My name is Noga Atar. I am an AI product manager team lead with 6 years experience in the product world. And today we will dive into some personalization method, the model we are working with, and an introduction on how you can do it in your company. But first, let's understand what is Playtika.
Life needs play. Since the day we are born, we all need play. Through play, we learn. We explore. We stimulate our senses or we let go. We connect with others or connect with ourselves. While the need for play is universal, what people play and how people play is an individual choice. And at Playtika, our mission is to entertain the world through infinite ways to play. By smashing art with science, we create the most vibrant and eclectic mix of games, and we do it all with an endless passion. We dare to challenge, and we play to change the game. We are coders and marketers that run with the pack, artists and data scientists that make it count, storytellers and strategists that cut to the chase. We are Playtika. Bringing you infinite ways to play. Playtika.
So, because life needs play, our vision is to excite each and every one of our players like the game was made only for him. Therefore, we need to understand if you love to explore, if you love to achieve, if you love to play with others, and maybe your motivation is actually to break your own record. For example, for explorers, we will suggest features that they haven't reached yet. For socializer, we will add more capabilities, social capabilities, to enable engagement and suggest mutual goals. It's good, but it's not enough. Because as a socializer, you might love to play with others, but also to compete against others. Because you are also an achiever who wants to break his records. So in other words, we aim to give the dynamic experience to the right player, but also in the right context in the game. As you can understand, personalization is complex. Behind the scenes, it requires many professionals to analyze, to execute, to be creative in order to enable custom-made experience for our players, and this is only in one game. Now let's take this complexity to millions of players. 14 games, 9 of them of the top 100 in the United States. Each game has different game experience and different genre, from exploring island in our Bingo Blitz game to designers looking for innovation idea in our Read a Core application. And all of that with high quality of content and 24/7 operation. So how we can achieve this goal, how we overcome our challenge? Our approach is to keep all the drama and all the complexity of many AI algorithms under the hood. This is by tackling business processes end-to-end without professional streams. In other words, AI-driven digital product to empower our game teams and constantly learning from their feedbacks and their business expertise. And now that we understand what Playtika is all about and what exactly we are trying to do by overcoming the challenges in the field of personalization, let's now dive into the different product and AI engines behind the products that are helping us to overcome those challenges using real-time cases from our experience. In practice, we divide personalization process into two main steps. The first one is identify the personas in the game. Identify the groups of players that for some reason I want to focus on and treating them together as a whole. And the second part of the personalization process is choosing the ideal experience for the players in the game. Behind each and every of these parts, we have few AI algorithms that we are now going to dive into and understand them. So let's start with the left part of identifying the persona. We chose to focus here on two products that we have developed in order to explain what we are doing in this process. So the first one is the multidimensional division-based product. We have created an AI engine that knows how to take the multidimensional preferences of the players today and divide them in the best way possible in the game. We are taking not only one or two preferences or characteristics, but a lot of them, hundreds of them. Another product that is helping us achieve this goal is the prediction engine that we've built. We know how to take these multidimensional preferences of the players and divide them not only today in the game, but also tomorrow or 1 week from now. So for example, if I want to know who out of my players is going to like a feature that I'm going to release, I can try and predict it. And if on the left side we are talking about algorithms like k-means, on the right side we are talking about more advanced algorithms like XGBoost, LTSM or survivor models, because we are not only interested in whether a player is going to like a feature or not, but when specifically in time is it going to happen. So now that we understand what we are trying to achieve with identifying the personas, let's understand what it means to costume the ideal game experience for them. We have developed a real-time engine that knows how to propose the best experience for a player in real time. The product is based on few AI algorithms from the family of the multi-arm bandit. Behind the scene, we are giving the player at any time an experience in the game, and immediately after, we are collecting the way they responded to this experience. And then we keep on tuning and keep on adjusting the algorithm to know better tomorrow. We are using different algorithms here for different purposes. So for example, we will use the stochastic multi-arm bandit for cases when we don't have any historical data about the preference of our players, and we are using like a cold start, a reinforcement learning, to propose a few experiences to these players and then to learn on the fly what they like the most. We will use a contextual multi-arm bandit when we do have context, when we do understand what the player liked in the game a month ago, 2 months ago, and for that we need an algorithm to help us to understand what is the best way to segment the player in real time in order to give them the best experience possible. Now, to summarize the 2 steps of personalization, we are saying that with one AI engine, we are identifying the personas, understanding what are the groups of players that we want to treat, and with the second one, we are customizing the ideal game experience for them. It's also very important to explain that we are always performing A/B tests also with another product that are based on another advanced algorithms, because it's very important for us to understand that the algorithms are not optimizing on data science metrics or data science KPI, but actually on the most important part, on the business KPIs. So we are always on top of that, and we are always performing the best tests to understand that this is exactly the case. And another thing that's important to mention, that we don't want to give our game user, the operator or the monetization manager, the feeling that the algorithm is a black box for them, and they don't understand what it does or what is behind the scenes. We want them to interact with the algorithm and to understand exactly what they are doing in the game in order to trust it. So now that you understood the products, let's try to see it from the AI perspective, from the engine side. For that, I chose to focus on our prediction model and show you how this process and this product was done. Just before that, I'm going to do a short recap on what is a prediction model and what the process of creating a prediction model for those of you who are less familiar with. So the first thing that I'm going to do when trying to define a new prediction model is to define exactly what is the label. What is this event in the data that I want to predict? So let's take an example. Here I want to predict who out of my player is going to become a churner in the game. What is a churner? Churner is someone that didn't log into the game for 14 days and above. And when do I want to know that? At least 7 days before. Because if he is not happy today, in 7 days from now, I want to know about it today, so I can change his experience and make sure that he's getting the best experience exactly for him. So after defining the label, the second thing that I'm going to do is to explore the data. I need to gather historical data, understand the relevant field, do the data modeling, clean the data, and create the features. Afterward, I'm going to mark in the data all the events of someone that churned and explore the relation of my label with those features. So I can build my decision tree that based on the correlation, from now on each and every one of the players in the game will go into this engine in real time, and the engine will examine every player that is logging into the game and can tell me on a scale from 0 to 1 how likely is this player to churn. We are also wrapping this product with the AI monitoring tools, because a model that I created today that is relevant for today's data might not be relevant for the data 6 months from now. So we want to make sure that we are on top of the understanding if there are any data drifts or concept drift of the models in real time. And basically, I described here in a few sentences work of few months for data scientists, data engineers, and a lot of other roles in the process. It might sound easy, but as I believe you know, it's not the case. Now, it brings me to the dilemma that we had when developing this product, of where exactly do we want to be when creating a product, where we want to be on a scale that transforms professional service to AI end-to-end self-service solution. Because if we will ask our data scientist, please create a churn model for me for one of my game, it will be a relatively easy task. They will gather the data, create the features, create the model, run it, and even monitor it by themselves in a manual way. The performance would be amazing, and the time to market would be also pretty fast, because they only created this first model and they put all the effort they have on it. But it's not scalable and even not stabilized at all. Because immediately when I want to scale it up for the second use case and other studios, we would need to put the same amount of effort that we put on the first one, also on the second one, and so forward. And it's definitely not the place where we want to be when creating a product around predictions. Now, on the other hand, the other part of the scale is the fully automated end-to-end solution. Describes a product that has a lot of flexibility for the users. We are talking about a product that you, as a non-AI, non-data science user, can create your own label. It means that every user can be able to create a new label and train a new model by himself without knowing AI and use it in production. In order to be in this place, it's required a heavy algorithm, a great deal of self-educating UI, and also a lot of AI monitoring tools. Because once you give this power to people that are not familiar with AI, you need to make sure that it's all wrapped with the proper monitoring. It can take years to get to this point, and in Playtika, we like to run fast. So this is why we chose a different approach. For those many reasons, we have created a product that on this scale is more leaning toward the right side of the scale, which is the end-to-end solution. So instead of creating by yourself the label and training by yourself the models, the game user will get into a pretty simple UI and then create and be able to choose from a list of catalog the right model that they want to use. It's not just that. They will also be presented with the question of threshold optimization. Do you want to optimize on precision or do you want to optimize on recall? We make it accessible in business language, so you don't need to be a data scientist to choose the right threshold based on business needs, because basically it's a business question, it's not an AI question, and it's very important for us to give the user the ability to choose it by himself. It will gain their trust in the product, and it will also make them not see it as a black box. It is also important to mention that in Playtika, like we said, we have a lot of games, and the games are very different from one another. So in order to provide them this UI with as much flexibility as we can, we need to understand the foundation of the similarity between them. We established a player taxonomy and created game abstractions, so we are able to put the foundation on which we can build all the data and all the automatic features upon. And this is how we are trying to hide a lot of drama under the hood with a nice UI that is actually business explanatory for non-data science audience. So thank you for being here up until now. We can talk about personalization for hours, but let's try to summarize 3 takeaways for many years of experience, a lot of data, and many use cases. First of all, the why, and the why is the answer, because optimal experience requires personalization. As a player, I don't care about all the other millions that are playing. I care about my own journey, and I want to be treated like the game was made only for me. This is a huge advantage once you understand it, and now we have endless possibilities. From the game team, always think about your end user that interact with AI and with complicated products. And here we have also very simple answer. Keep all the drama under the hood and enable them to operate easy to use product like there is no AI inside. And always keep the human in the loop. And from the AI point of view, as better as you develop your foundation, in this case, game abstraction, the easier it will be for you to scale. AI is very sensitive for use cases, and once you can scale it, you win it. And we want to win the game. Thank you very much, everyone.